acrobatics are on display.
What are you wanting to do, Polo?
Lifeguards discover a boat adrift off Bondi. But where are the passengers?
At this point, I'm thinking worst case scenario.
This season, 21-year-old Tommy is doing everything he can to make a good impression.
Step 1, 2, the trainee always goes out in the wind. Where else would you rather be, bud? My summer's been good. No one's told me I've done anything bad yet, so I think I've survived.
Tommy's biggest goal is to master the art of the board rescue.
The art of doing a rescue is a skill that you take time to build up. And it's just not an easy thing, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. When you've got the patient, it turns into a bloody circus out in the ocean. You do get patients that are bigger than you, and you've got to really manhandle them to get them on the board.
Well-performed rescues earn recognition. Get it wrong, and you can just about hear the laughter out in the water.
Sometimes it doesn't look pretty, but there's lots of ways to skin a cat. But you've got to get them back to shore, and you do whatever it takes to get them back in.
Tommy knows his every move is being watched.
Ryan was in the tower and just gave a radio call at a few heads down the south corner. I realised pretty quickly that I had to move fast and get out there to him as soon as possible because he wasn't the best swimmer.
Tommy's in.
When I got to him, he was really tired, his breathing was heavy and he didn't have much longer in him out there. When you get people on the board, you tell them lay on your belly, face the front, and every now and then, like a little skinny kid like himself, I was like, oh, just lay on your back, that'll do.
When rescues go wrong, a lifeguard's pride isn't the only thing that can get hurt.
And I thought, here we are, nice wave back to shore. Then he sits up, which caused a nosedive. And this resulted in me getting a rescue brought straight to the balls.
Ooh.
I thought, oh no, the balloons have popped. Got me good.
Look at him waddling up the hill. He looks like a penguin.
Right in the meat and 2 veg. Besides that, it's pretty good, eh?
15 minutes later, Tommy gets a second chance to strut his stuff in front of the team.
It's just fallen off the back of that bank in the south corner. Yeah, hand's gone up.
Once the hand goes up, we go straight away. I wouldn't say I've recovered from my previous injury, but duty calls.
A few waves rolling in now.
Got to the patient and I realised he's a big bugger. So I got him on the board.
He's got him now.
And started paddling back and here comes a wave and I thought, beauty, straight back to shore. Probably about half a second before the wave hit, I thought, oh, this guy's a bit far forward actually.
In his quest to master the board rescue, Tommy invents a technique of his own.
I hit the water and surfaced and my first thoughts was, how the hell did I just do that? And I just felt this slow motion lift like the aircraft taking off. I was up near the helicopters doing their tour guides around Bondi. I was pretty high, but what goes up must come down. Every rescue you do down here, everything's a learning curve.
What I always wanted to do, pole vault. He weighed 100+ kilos and I weigh 50. That's good.
Done my summer as a trainee. I'll be here all winter. Fingers crossed that when my application goes on Hoppo's desk, he doesn't throw it out and he signs it, and then here I am, big boys.
On Bondi, people watch each other. Helicopters watch from the sky, and the lifeguards watch, well, pretty much everything.
There's an unattended boat out there. There's like a dinghy with no one in it.
What? Where?
Have a look at that white boat. There's nobody in it.
Over there.
There's no one in it.
Whoa!
Beyond the Shark Boys, a boat is adrift with no one aboard.
Yeah, there was no sign of life in it or around it, and we suddenly all started to get quite concerned.
Out on patrol, the Westpac search and rescue chopper stops to investigate.
It looks like a inflatable boat which could be abandoned. So if you could get a jet ski from Bondi to come out and have a look.
The lifesaver helicopter appears and the decision was made for me and Max to head out on the ski and take a closer look at what's going on.
Now, the mystery of the unmanned boat attracts police as well.
Well, someone could have been out there using it, you just don't know. Like they could have dived overboard.
So on the way out there, the boat's drifting further and the helicopter was hovering above. And at this point, I'm thinking worst case scenario. I'm thinking someone's fallen off.
As Max and Singlets approach, there's no sign of anyone in distress.
Jump in and have a look.
When I jumped into the water, I've got this weird feeling in my gut that something's not right out there. So I get into the boat and the key's still in the ignition and there's a rope hanging over the side of the boat that's obviously got weight on the end of it.
Do you reckon that's an anchor?
A rope is attached to something, dragging beneath the boat.
Bizarre, eh?
Too deep to anchor and drifting quickly. What is under the boat?
I had the scuba mask with me and I knew that I had to look at what was on the end of the rope.
Upon closer inspection, Singlets learns the rope is simply attached to the hull.
Literally, the rope had just got caught underneath the boat and there was nothing on the end of it, so I was really relieved.
Lifeguards' concern is that someone may have fallen overboard.
Boys, is there any sort of like valuables like on the boat that looks like, you know, there could have been people in it recently, or is it just fully abandoned?
Yeah, no valuables to speak of. Got the key in it though.
Unable to find any further clues, Singlets and Max towed the boat back to shore.
There could be someone missing, but, you know, we'll leave this to the police to handle.
A landing party awaits them.
Thanks, brother. I reckon we put it straight on eBay.
Always ready to entertain the troops, Harry's seizes the opportunity.
This is your captain speaking. We're just coming through the lovely Sydney Heads into the harbour. And off we go.
Hey, Jacko, he's something with Harry's right now.
Oh, you kidding?
Ahoy, mateys! It's like a Queen Mary coming in.
When Harry's manned this unmanned vessel, I just knew how much Harry's was loving. Like, it was his moment. He does a lot of funny things, Harry's. I don't like to give him too much reco for what he does, but that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen him do.
This captain's not going down with ship. Starboard, right, iceberg.
Just as much as the big people, Bondi's little people love the beach. But a kid playing with a sandcastle one moment can be at risk of drowning the next.
We're just in the tower. It was a weekday morning. We look up and there's a little girl in the rip in front of the pavilion.
A small girl is fighting for her life in front of the tower.
Gons just goes, I'm going.
Alone, the young girl won't last long.
Yeah, the fear definitely gets bigger when there's little kids because they're so defenceless in the water.
Gons right in front of the tower.
When you're in the tower, you're watching that person, just got to keep eyes on her so if she goes under, I can at least tell them where she's gone under. So it's a gut-wrenching feeling, but you have to do it.
She's really, really bad.
Gons, he comes down on his days off and paddles a lot, and I just know he's using every bit of that training to get there as fast as he can.
When I got to the girl, yeah, she was pretty shaken up when I first got her on the board.
8-year-old Ava from Queensland is on holiday with her father, Graham, but he's nowhere to be seen.
After a while, it sinks in, like, what's she doing out here by herself?
Beachgoers witnessed just how close Ava came to drowning before Troy rescued her.
Just sit on the seat there.
Troy wants to have a word with Ava's dad as soon as he can find him.
He went up there. I think I can see him.
You can see him?
Yeah.
Just there?
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll walk over to him, okay? Just next time, look, keep an eye on him, man.
Sorry, no.
Like,
where were you, eh?
It's this close. Like,
oh, she played right out here.
Yeah, she was right out the back as well. Like, it was very close.
Oh, sweet, bro.
You're very brave. You're very brave.
Very brave. Sorry, buddy.
It's a mistake that many parents make, but this time it nearly cost Graham the life of his daughter.
Oh, look, I was laying there and my daughter went for a swim. She floated out of the flags and ended up rescued. He was scared.
The waves kept on hitting me.
The waves kept hitting you?
Yeah. So I kept on going down and down.
Oh, darling. She wanted to come down and see the lifesavers. That's why we come down from Queensland. So she got to see them up close. Yeah. It's embarrassing, eh?
Yeah, my advice for parents coming to Bondi is you've got to look out for the red and yellow flags and to keep an eye on your kids.